Hello, I'm Michelle with 2 L's.
And I'm Natalie the Red.
And we are Force of I Entertainment. Well, today I wanted to do, it's kind of a part two, I guess. We did a video a couple weeks ago on Joe Rogan discussing Gina Carano's firing. And in that video, I expressed how I was a little bit disappointed with old Joe and how it took him so long to express his feelings about Gina Carano because
Joe let you down.
He let me down. Joe let me down because usually in the past, Joe doesn't care. Like especially pre-Spotify, he would just express his thoughts, whether that ticked people off on any side of the political aisle. He was just kind of genuine. And I think that's what made him as huge as he is.
Came across.
Yeah. Yes, that's what people enjoy. So it was I expressed that in that video. I was a little disappointed because, it just kind of seems like a match in heaven. He hates cancel culture. He is in the fighting scene, has been in that for a while. So it just felt like a natural thing for him and Gina to eventually have a episode or a podcast episode on his show together. But last week I was watching a clip of his that came on YouTube, and I feel like I got the answer as to why Joe has not had Gina Carano on his podcast. And I wanted to play that with you and just kind of give you my thoughts on that. So let me go ahead and play. Let's go ahead and play this clip. And this is with Shane Gillis. He is if you guys remember a couple years ago.
Is it Gillis or Gillis?
It's Gillis, yeah.
Okay.
He was hired for SNL. And before he ever got to do his first show, people went and kind of digged up information. They dug up. They found a podcast episode where I can't even remember what he did, but it was, I think, a joke. But of course, they didn't take it as a joke. And it's actually an interesting video dealing with cancel culture because it explains that Michael Lawrence, of course, the head person at SNL, he didn't even think it was a big deal and didn't want to fire him, but then eventually was just told, like, you got to fire him. So that's
probably how a lot of people feel in situations, but then they've got pressure coming from, there's always like somebody above them,
Yes. So he's telling his story, and I guess he told Michael Lawrence that day, he's like, it's fine, I'll just end up on the Joe Rogan podcast. So they're discussing his firing, but it's in this that I think you'll hear why, with Joe's response, why he's not had Gina Carano on his show yet. So let's play this.
I remember somebody contacted me, like, to have you on. And I was like, I don't have any room. Like, for a while, I could do like an emergency podcast, but I'm like, let this dude ride this out. Yeah. And then we'll do one eventually.
Truly glad that did not happen. Because I would have come in emotional. I would have come in like, guns blazing. Isn't fair. Right. And I never felt that way. Like, the whole time I was like, I kind of get it.
When someone gets really canceled, you need perspective. Yeah. You know what it's like? It's like you need that venom to work its way through your system. And then you develop a certain amount of immunity to the actual moment.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to play, because I think, for starters, what he's saying is true, because even and I thought she did a phenomenal job. Gina did a great job. I watched it twice, her Ben Shapiro interview, but you could tell how much raw emotion she felt. And how could you not?
You did.
You could feel it. And so I think this clip gave us the answer as to why Joe has not had Gina on. I think and
it makes sense.
It does. Like,
basically, Michelle's saying he's totally redeemed himself.
He's totally redeemed himself in my eyes, because I think, especially with him bringing her up a couple weeks ago, I think he's just given her time to reflect.
It's Joe's way of saying it's not that I didn't care.
Yes. Yeah, so I think he's just giving her time to reflect. And this is this is just me thinking, business type thinking. I believe this. I think he's giving her time to dwell on it, get perspective, as he said, for that wound not to be so kind of deep and bitter, so they can have a full discussion about it. And here, if I'm betting or giving you the odds of what I think we know that Gina is about to begin production on her movie with the Daily Wire, which Joe Rogan has a pretty good working relationship with Ben Shapiro and some of them from the Daily Wire. So I think I think that Gina will probably go on Joe Rogan's show right before her movie comes out, because to me, that's just a logical win-win for both parties. For him, let's just be real, guys. That's why I've kind of been scratching my head as far as Joe not bringing this up. If he brings Gina on at any point, that's going to be a fire show.
It's going to be a big episode.
It's going to be a very big episode, because Gina, I mean, her fan base is huge on YouTube and things. People are so interested in the Gina situation because it was so public, the canceling that they did to Gina, and it was so politically charged and everyone saw that. So let's just be real. When he has her on, that show is going to be massive for Joe Rogan. Plus, if he brings her on, she's busy right now with her movie, but if she goes on kind of to discuss her movie, but I'm sure she'll be on different shows or
like a press junket type thing.
Like who better to go on and to lay out your side of the story and promote your movie all at the same time than to go on the largest podcast like in the world.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably what's going to happen. That's my bet. So as Natalie said, Joe has totally redeemed himself, because I really do believe that he's just waiting and giving her time to reflect. And I think when, of course, assuming Gina wants to go on the Rogan podcast, which, come on, Gina, we need you to go on, because that's going to be a good episode.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I'd say she will, because again, it'd be fantastic, free publicity promotion for her movie. When that is closer to going to be coming out. But anyways, that's kind of it. Any thoughts you have?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, that's kind of it. I saw this clip last week, and since I had expressed kind of my frustration with Joe, it was like, oh, okay.
You thought you'd cut him some slack.
I did. I did. I was like, okay, well, maybe he's thinking big picture and long term here.
Yeah, it was solid advice.
It is.
Really.
So that's kind of our thoughts, but that is it for this show of Force of Light Entertainment. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, remember to be a force of light.